how high the water gets.
Oh, how high's the water get? Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Hey, easy.
Yes, indeed. It's a speech.
Go ahead. Hey. Hey. Moving in your car. Oh, here we go. Mr. Winky. Mr. Winky. No one. I'm confused. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna hold it. There's no rubber band. Yeah.
Mr. Window has freedom, but free that you and I think is done. Free to be without the worries of quick to decide the windows above.
Well,
His only worries are sickness and occasional harassment by the police in their chase. Uncivilized,
who are we to judge?
Innocent men can be brutally enslaved or killed over a racist grudge. Mr. Window has tried to warn us about our ways, but we don't hear him talk. Is it his fault, but we've gone too far, and we got too far?
Push manufactured consent and to expose where those people, under the guise of giving you the news, are actually manufacturing consent. Totally different. Now, the fact that we actually have to turn on and have electricity and a camera and an editor, so we have to raise revenue to do this, somehow that's always a sticking point for him. Isn't that? It's kind of amazing. So that same sort of imperatives, we have completely different imperatives. So again, I'll take the heat for not knowing who this Yasha Levine guy was, but him doing that, this is on him. That's complete bullshit. That's fucking garbage. No, our imperatives are...
I'd like to thank the New School's Writing Department, Department of Media Studies, and the Vera List Center for Art and Politics for co-sponsoring this event. I'd also like to thank Pam Tillis and the Office of Public Programs for her support. And finally, a thank you to Democracy Now! And the New School Audiovisual Department for recording this lecture.
My alma mater, New School Video.
Rachel and Nick for assisting.
Yeah.
The New School is honored to host writer and journalist.
Back in the 70s, I would be making this speech, but this is how I would look.
And the liberal intelligentsia, which it presumably counts itself.
Oh, liberal intelligentsia! Woo! Woo! Oh, a growing war upon away. Yeah, hey. Yeah, we'll just, okay. Enough of this multimedia stuff. Hey, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. I am your sensei, your griot, as it were. What's a griot, you ask? Morgan, good to see you, buddy. Funky Santa. No, you know what that is? That was the last thing. It was truly amazing. Here it is, I don't know, 5 days since Christmas, and Lowe's was totally wiped out, except they had this display of angels, right? Well, I guess I'm the funky Santa. That's me. Yes. But it was truly amazing. There was a display of angels, right? And there were all kinds of angels up there, all kinds, right? They were all gone. The African Kwanzaa angel was the only one, and there was no one bought one. There were like 20 of them. Right. So and they wanted $7 for this. And so I asked, I said, where's the manager? Where's the manager? So they finally found me the manager. And I said, so that's the lowest price you can go? Yep, that's the lowest we can go. So what are you going to do when you don't have them? We're going to throw them away. What? So why don't you let me buy 4 or 5 of them for $7? Can't do that. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. He'd rather throw the Santa out. So I bought one because she's kind of cute. But they didn't sell one black, you know, that's where Black Lives Matter should go. To Lowe's, right? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. They do. You know, the angels are upset. Ooh, you don't want to get an angel. Oh, look how groovy this angel is macked out, man. Right? Even her undies are Mac, right? I would date this angel in a heartbeat. So that's kind of what I bought her, right? I'm gonna like talk to her every night, tell her how much I love her. Black Angel, I love you, baby. Yeah, I love you. I like her. Okay, so we're on the same wavelength there, Em. And I have to say, I went and bought some fried chicken from Food Lion. They have the best friggin' fried chicken, right? And really good. A whole friggin' chicken, all chopped up, fried to the best. Better than KFC, better than anybody else, right? Better than anybody else. And it was $3. Every store has something good, right? Food Lion always has specials. Like they had 4 rolls of toilet paper for 97 cents. Better than the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree was 1 roll of toilet paper, smaller than I got, but 4. Anyway, so bye. Let's see. My fave as a kid and candy. So yes. What's your favorite candy? Mars bars have always been mine. Anything soft and gooey. My mom was gaga for soft and gooey. So she had boxes of soft and gooey. So, I got into it. But, I also got into not eating that many sweets. I wasn't a sweets guy. Still not. I like them, but everything. Mars bars. Yep. All the gooey chocolate, yummy. But everything in moderation. And I really have to be in moderation. I just went to, why I'm here is because I went to see my doc, and he did a blood panel before Christmas, and he said, man, you are styling for a dead guy, He said my A1 for my blood sugar, like it's the average over a 6-month period. He says better than most healthy people. Yes, mine can spike, but mine never spikes above 140. Well, this Christmas I did stay at my friend's, and we drank wine, and we drank. I made them a port, and I showed them mead, and because you just mix things together, and it kind of almost tastes like what those things taste like. And these guys have more money than God, and they're pretty young, way younger than me, and they really have no life experience. So did you ever go to Europe? Oh yeah, I went for a weekend. Did you ever live there? Huh? Mama, bye. So, talk to my insight infos on things, all conspiratory. And remember, don't believe a word I say. So, they were saying, and as I've been saying, all you got to do is go to Cliff Hyde's, something thinking, clearly thinking, I think it's, but Cliff Hyde, and look at his shows from about late December until July, when he covered it so much, so deep, so everything, that he moved on to like real esoteric stuff that people have no idea. He's talking now, or then in July he was talking about global warming, and it's more a galactic thing than our car exhaust. Not to say that our car exhaust is good for us, but it's not the be end and all. Everything, it's just like me. Don't believe a word I say. As Rudy the J says, fake news. There is no truth, right? So that's kind of where we. So go to Jimmy Dore. Yep, and catch his stream, right? And
Lecture.
this guy.
Column on truthdig.com. This week's column, Why Liberals Are Useless, hits right at the core of this identity crisis. Mr. Hedges writes, liberals are a useless lot. They're defeated and self-absorbed. Their cynicism is a cloak for their cowardice and impotence. They use inaction and empty moral posturing, not to affect change, but to engage in an orgy of self-adulation and self-pity. The gravest danger we face as a nation is not from the far right, but from a bank liberal class that has lost the will to fight.
He wrote that this comes from 6 years ago.
Hedges unapologetically asks, at what point do we stop being dormant? At what point do we fight back?
Yes.
We may lose if we step outside of the mainstream, but at least we salvage our self-esteem and integrity.
Right on. Why do you think I act the way? Why do you think I've been this way my whole life? Why do you think I could have been many times? I'm happy with living like a millionaire rather than being one.
For explanatory journalism and an Amnesty International Global Award for Human Rights Journalism. But Mr. Hedges' career at the New York Times would be short-lived. When in 2003, Hedges delivered a commencement address in Illinois.
Yes.
Criticized
they took his clothes.
And Mr. Hedges argued, we are embarking on an occupation that, if history is any guide, will be as damaging to our souls as it will be to our prestige, power, and security. Members of the audience booed.
And not only that.
Although some applauded, Hedges' microphone was cut twice, and two young men even rushed the stage to prevent him from speaking. Subsequently,
America,
the New York Times criticized
free
his
speech,
and the editors demanded Hedges cease speaking about the Iraq War. Hedges, refusing to accept such restrictions, left the New York Times to become a senior fellow at the Nation Institute, where he now writes and teaches at Princeton. Hedges' books,
which is nice, you know. I wish they'd offer me a job like that.
The Christian Right and the War on America.
But I have to say it, Chris has been out in the fray last 20 years.
Empire of Illusion, Challenge and Provoke. In Wars
Empire Illusion, Challenge and Provoke. Great book.
War as the most potent narcotic invented by humankind. Subsequently, as war, poverty, and conflict escalate, as we learn in Empire of Illusion, an increasingly disjointed and intoxicated population will seek comfort in celebrity culture.
So this kid should stop reading his thing and speak from his heart, you know?
Thus, it seems that both war and the illusion
he's never going to be
what it means to be an engaged and informed citizenry. Now, here to talk more on this, the New School is very proud to welcome Mr. Chris Hedges. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And I want to first salute all those students at the New School.
Where is he?
Who were not asleep in standing up to their president. And I hope that campaign's not over.
So this is like in the early Iraq War, he did this, right? This is before Obama. I think it's in Obama's time.
Has heard about the event on December 12th, 11 o'clock in the morning, next Saturday, Lafayette Park, in front of the White House, anti-war protest demonstration, which I will be.
And those wars are still going on, you know. And the thing about all those wars, they're coming home, you know. And all those guys who kicked in doors in Iraq and Afghanistan,
the line has been crossed.
They're gonna come and kick your door in.
And it is time for all of us to step out of the mainstream, to give up on the Democratic Party, which has betrayed us, and in particular betrayed the working class, and fight for what is left of our anemic democracy. In celebrity culture, we destroy what we worship.
Bye,
exploitation
Stevie.
of Michael Jackson's death was
Bye.
orchestrated by the corporate forces
Bye, Stevie.
that rendered Jackson insane. Jackson, robbed of his childhood and surrounded by vultures that preyed on his fears and weaknesses, consumed by self-loathing, he carved his African-American face into a Caucasian death mask. He hid his apparent pedophilia behind a Peter Pan illusion of eternal childhood. He could not disentangle his public and his private self. He became a commodity, a product, one to be sold, used, and manipulated. He was infected by the moral nihilism and personal disintegration that is
talking about
the
Michael
core
Jackson,
of our corporate
one of
culture.
our greatest musicians.
And his fantasies of eternal youth, delusions of majesty.
So Stevie Smith, which is, the best name for a troll, SS, So Stevie asks, why did I ask for electric money when I went and spent Christmas with a family? Well, because right there, Stevie, it's a family. And they had more money than God. They had a big house. It's all heated. They had. I hadn't taken a shower since last February. Ooh, I took a couple of nice hot ones. And it has the internet. They let me jump on their Wi-Fi, and they gave me that. So I now have, I don't have to drive 20 miles. All I have to do is walk 2 miles, which is good for me. Sunny day. Yesterday I walked there and sat down on the porch and did a nice little show. And then I walked back home. So the thing about, Stevie makes not at all a relevant point, and that's why I kind of bounced him out there, because, I gave him a few chances. He's been on that chat a few times, and he's always doesn't even listen to what we're talking about. And he, says something like that, it's always a condescending, negative towards your Al Bob, which is fine. I just don't have to listen to it. I can bob about. Somebody told me about the 3 dots. It's almost like there's 3 seashells. You know about 3 seashells, instead of toilet paper. Anyway, so that's Stevie. He's like the 3 seashells. And what did in Judge Dredd, I think was the name of, with what's his name? The guy who played who played the boxer guy, Sylvester Stallone, right? Anyway, so what were the 3 seashells? They toilet paper was too much an environmental thing, so they developed a way to use these seashells to scrape the mierda from your mud hole, and that's Stevie. Stevie Smith is a seashell, and that's what he does. But he doesn't get cleaned by some microwave device. He kind of digests it and then perpetrates it, right? So, hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We've just been on for 18 minutes, and there's 5 of you up there, and there's 3 thumbs up. Thank you. And I love you all. And again, Steve, so PayPal, he said he was going to send, thousands of dollars. And how do you do it? So, lots of, it's very interesting. The people who do send me money are ones who have no cash, but they really love the show. They do, they're very generous. And I have to thank everyone who sends me something. Just go to the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, and there's my PayPal, and whatever you want. I really, 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 really appreciate it. My average electric bill, this is my first winter that I'm really staying in the deep green, and my average is about $20 to $35. Well, this, November and December was $87. Now it'll be interesting to see what December and January is going to be. And that's the only thing I really kind of needed for that, and other things like food and medicine and gas to come drive to talk to you guys. And as long as it's a gorgeous, warmish day, I will walk those 2 miles, right? Whereas right today, it's a snowy, rainy, funky day, and I had to get some stuff because I'm going to, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow up until Monday, it's supposed to be, warmish but rainy. So I don't like to drive in the rain. So, and it's not really raining. No, it's more like misting. So I drove by this one Wi-Fi spot I know, and I thought I'd jump in and talk to you as much as I can. And Morgan is, yes, right on about Jackson. Yes, it's so sad because Michael Jackson was like a Prometheus. I mean, his music was beyond belief, but the corporate structure just kind of ate him frigging alive as a kind of, offering it up to the moneyed gods. We'll go on with
and desperate, disfiguring quests for physical transformation were an expression of our own yearning. He was a reflection of us
Michael Jackson was
in the extreme.
in the extreme.
His memorial service, a variety show with a coffin, had an average of 31.1 million television viewers. It was the final episode of the long-running Michael Jackson series. The stories that enthrall us are real-life stories. Early fame, wild success, and then a long, bizarre, and macabre emotional train wreck. O.J. Simpson offered a tamer version of the same plot. So does Britney Spears and Tiger Woods. Jackson, by the end, was heavily in debt and had weathered a $22 million out-of-court settlement to Jordy Chandler, as well as 7 counts of child sexual abuse and 2 counts
that's our
of
culture.
administering an intoxicating agent
That's our
in order to
culture.
commit a felony. Jackson reflected back to us our own physical and psychological disintegration, especially with many Americans struggling with overwhelming debt, loss of status, and deep personal confusion. The lurid drama.
And that's us. That's America. That's what we're going through. And the sad thing is, it's all right in front of us. It's not hidden. That we don't even have a curtain to hide it. I mean, Donald Trump is Michael Jackson. JoJo is Michael Jackson. Or Biden. Everyone in the Senate. Look at Moscow Mitch. I mean, he every time I see him, and luckily I don't see him much because I don't have TV or internet, or I don't get any kind of, the only thing I really get is late at night, shortwave and AM radio. And, but that's about it. I got a little public radio and the station nearby, 40 miles away. Pretty good. ETSU, that's the flagship of Tennessee. And Tennessee, all the Appalachian states are, I mean, we could be South Africa, the way we are just taken advantage of and ruined. The 3 counties where I am, they are all MAGA-made guys, gigantic MAGA-made signs everywhere. And, I don't know if you follow the COVID-19, but Tennessee is probably one of the worst hit states in the union. So is Kentucky, so is West Virginia, so is northwestern North Carolina and southwestern Virginia. These are all places totally, they love, look where, Kentucky, that's where Moscow Mitch comes from. And they are suffering. I mean, he's cut their education, their wealth, he's gotten rid of everything. And these people still vote for him. What is the story
Of Jackson's personal life, meshed with the ongoing dramas in television, in movies, in the news. News reports on television are mini dramas. They provide a star, a villain, a supporting cast, a good-looking host, and a dramatic, if often unexpected, ending. In Fahrenheit 451, Bradbury's novel about a future dystopia,
movie
people spend
made
most
in
of
the
the day
60s, book
watching
made in the
giant
50s.
television screens that show endless scenes of police chases and criminal apprehensions. Life, Bradbury understood, once it was packaged, scripted, narrative, and filmed, became the most compelling form of entertainment. And Jackson was a great show, deserved a great finale. Those who created Jackson's public persona and turned him into a piece of property, first as a child and finally as a corpse encased in a $15,000 gold casket are the agents, publicists, promoters, script writers, advertisers, video technicians, recording executives, public that dismantles empire? Or will we employ the brutality and technology of our internal security and surveillance apparatus
It's already
to
there.
crush dissent
Yep.
and drive us into a new dark age?
That's where we are, kids.
In his book, Democracy Incorporated, Sheldon Wolin, who taught political philosophy at Berkeley and later at Princeton, uses the phrase inverted totalitarianism to describe our political system. Inverted totalitarianism, unlike classical totalitarianism, does not revolve around a demagogue or charismatic leader. It finds expression
I'm looking
in
at
the
you,
anonymity
baby.
of the corporate state. It purports to cherish democracy, patriotism, and the Constitution, while manipulating internal levers to subvert and thwart democratic process. Political candidates are elected in popular votes by citizens, but are beholden to armies of corporate lobbyists in Washington, state capitals, who author the legislation and get the legislators to pass it. A corporate media controls nearly everything we read, watch, or hear. It imposes a bland uniformity of opinion. It diverts us with trivia and celebrity gossip. In classical totalitarian regimes, such as Nazi fascism or Soviet communism, economics was subordinate to politics. Under inverted totalitarianism, the reverse is true, Wolin writes. Economics dominates politics. And with that domination comes different forms of ruthlessness. The Obama brand offers us an image that appears radically individualistic and new. This image inoculates us from seeing that the old engines of corporate power
See what he said a little up here.
has grave political consequences, as we saw in Italy and Germany in the
Okay,
early part of
Chris,
the 20th century.
we get the picture.
Antitrust
get the picture.
laws not only regulate,
We get the picture. Okay, we get it, right? You got it? So, all these people talk about the problem. They don't talk about how to fix it. The only way to fix this is with love's co-creation. Only thing. Your intent has to be with love's co-creation. You have to serve love, God above, and not the God of a church, of the mega church. I forgot what city, I think it was in Texas, when a year had a tremendous hurricane that just sat on top of Houston and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and the city was floating away. And back in the day when I went to Cooper Union, when I'm at a university or when I was at universities, anybody offered me a road trip or a project that I get, at least a meal and a place to stay and some money, I would do it. So I went with a group of folks, of urban planners that Houston was just starting to take off. They built the NASA site there and a few other things. And there was this whole freaking plane down to the Gulf of Mexico, right? And they were like out there with their little transoms and flags, and they were laying out streets and cul-de-sacs and towns and shopping centers. And I asked the geographer next to me, I said, so at what level is this piece of property? And he goes, below sea level. So I said, what are they, nuts? It's going to rain hard. A hurricane comes in off the Gulf of Mexico like it always frigging does. And this place is going to be underwater. By how much? He goes, about 20 feet. Now, that was 40 years before this hurricane that flooded Houston. And how much was that neck of the woods where there were now 1 million people living? And 20 feet. And these were all, these weren't, poor people. These were, what I call lower middle class, like my parents. They were not rich, but very comfortable. They had a nice job. They were making, 40% more than the average person, right? Not like Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a trillionaire. He doesn't like to say that. And he was the first 100 billionaire. It's called centibillionaire, right? And we have over 300 of those in America. In other countries like India and Japan and China, they have one or two. But we have hundreds, like over 300. And if you put all that money together, you could fix America like you couldn't believe. Are they doing it? No. What are they doing it? They're putting it into their own stock and they're driving it up to the roof so they make more money. And that's how, how do you explain the United States? It lost 33% of its GDP from last January to this January. And yet the stock market is at 30,000. How has that been? All those people have stock in Tesla and Amazon. They're making, and that's like, all of those centibillionaires. Bye, 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 bye. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland, wherever you are. And remember, I am your griot, your Sensei Al Bob. And what's a griot? A guy who tells you a story to make you think. Right? I don't believe anything I say. These are stories. What I want you to do is think, right? Open your heart and think. That's where you should be thinking from, not your head, not where the squirrel lives in the metal trap in your head and the Rolodex. No, in your heart, where love is. Offshore, yep. Now, we can lament that we live in a fascist dictatorship, but we've been living in this since, last 600 years, since Chris, the Catholic Church, de mores nete, which means the church gave the permission to white people to go to unchristian lands and take their land and keep it. God said it was okay. And that's how the Spanish came to the Americas, right? And North America, South America, Central America, Mexico. They took it from all those indigenous people. Now, the really evolved ones just walked away. Where did the Mayans go? They walked through a doorway in time and space and went someplace else, saying, good luck, kids. See you later. And that's where we are. Good luck, kids. See you later, But we are just a blink of an eye to being at home in love's co-creation. That's all it is. Blink of an eye. And that's why I'm, blinking so much, and why I am a happy-go-lucky, lucky bastard, because like today, I was backing up and some guy came, it's a parking lot, and he came rushing up, jammed on his brakes and leaned on his horn and jumped out of his car. What are you, crazy? What are you going to destroy my car? I said, well, I had my blinkers on. I was kind of honking my horn a little bit to get people's attention. And I saw you coming, and I was already kind of getting out, and I was going in the opposite direction that you were. So if you just slowed down a little, and he had a gun. And I said, Jesus loves you. Just take a big breath in. Look who's in your car. There's your 14-year-old daughter, your 12-year-old son, your 8-year-old son, and there's your teenage boy. He's 15. What are you thinking of all that? And how what kind of example are you showing right there? Right? Hola. Hola.
Hi, Bob.
Who this?
Who do you think?
Oh, I have no idea.
Put me on speaker.
What?
Put me on speaker.
I have you on speaker.
Excelente.
So what's your
How are you doing?
what's your worldview?
I'm a liberal.
Did you hear what Chris said about liberals?
Yes, I did.
So are you a vapid, useless piece of mierda? You know what
No,
liberal?
the bueno.
You know what liberals are? Liberals are people who feel guilty about being racist.
Yes, white guilt.
Yes. Yep. That's a liberal.
How are you doing?
Well, you know me, I'm always doing great. You know, no matter where I am, there I am. So I'm doing fine.
Feliz Navidad.
What? Police Navidad. Yes. Thank you very much. It's one of my favorite seasons. Did you see my new girlfriend? Here's
You
my,
have girlfriend?
yeah, here she is, right here. A black angel.
Oh.
And I bought her at Lowe's, right? And people were like killing each other for the last of the Christmas stuff. And the only thing that wasn't being gone after, there was a whole thing of angels, right? And every other angel was gone except for the black angel. And there were like, 20 black angels, and there wasn't an empty space.
So you get like one?
Well, I wanted to buy them all, so I asked for the manager, and I said, "So when are you clearing out your before New Year's we get rid of all Christmas stuff?" I said, "So in a day or so, tomorrow, Thursday, Christmas Eve, this is all gone." He said, "Yep." So not a single one of these angels has sold. Can I buy them for now? They were wanted $45 for that angel, and she's kind of classy. And they were selling it for $7. So I said, "Can I buy all of them for $10?" And he said, "No, $7." And I said, "What are you going to do with them?" He said, "We're going to throw them out."
They're gonna throw out.
Not the angels. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They should sell to you.
I know they should have just given to the box and everything, the end cap, the whole thing. But no, he's going to throw. And he was like, "Really? We're just going to throw them out." I said, "So what if I wait by the dumpster?" "Well, you can't, because our dumpster is we feed it from inside and it's welded into the thing, and we compress it, and then we send it to the dump." I said, "So I bought one because that's all I could afford." So they were all the same and they're all pretty. And I told them all I felt really sorry I couldn't take them all home, but they understood. So the one lucky African angel came home with me.
Please, this dumpster have no lock.
No, it doesn't even have a door. Meaning they have a thing on one side that's in the building. They throw the stuff in the building. They push a button and it compresses it. And then after it's like got as much crap in there as it can, it goes and a truck picks it up and takes it to the dump. So there are no doors, no gates, no nothing to get at from the outside.
It's getting harder to find free stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's called garbage. Free stuff is a whole different thing.
Yes, it's true.
Yes, a totally different thing. And they don't want to even give garbage away. Even rotting food they don't want to give away.
Who wants rotten food?
Well, I eat rotten food myself.
Well,
because that's all I can. I find there are loads of places that still have open dumpsters, and I go looking for them, and it's pretty amazing. I found they threw out 3 big hams only because and the hams were sealed on the inside, but on the outside there was all kind of funk on them, and so they threw the hams away. I took them home, I opened them up, and they were half cooked and then kind of cured a little, and it's a Christmas ham, right? And so, but it was sealed in this thing, really sealed. And I had one for Christmas. I shared it with the people who shared. I did all the cooking for the folks, and when they saw that ham covered, the package all covered in crap, we can't eat that. I said, "Sure you can."
they thought it was green eggs and
Green eggs and ham, yes, and that was on the outside. The green eggs, yep. Mm-hmm.
secret for moist ham.
Yep.
It's mayonnaise.
Yeah. Yes, mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise. Yeah, and you know what? Real white people. You know what? Real white people. People who really want to be white. You know what they eat?
They eat caviar.
No, they eat white bread untoasted mayonnaise sandwiches.
I thought they eat like cucumber and cream cheese sandwiches.
Oh no. That's a whole different. That's a different class. It's a different cult. It's a different. But white, like the white people who think they're really white, who are dealing with the what do they call the Civil War? The forgotten, there's a term for it that means we're gonna win anyway. Kind of like Donald. I love Donald Trump because he is a physical, living representation of everything American.
You know what you say? You go to the wall. I come over immediately so I don't get walled into Mexico.
Well, Mexico's a nice place.
I came here.
Mexico's a nice place. What part of
Mexico? No.
No, it's nice.
USA.
Well, I don't know who you are because my phone says it's a private number, so it's nobody that I know. So that's kind of interesting.
No, you give me voicemail through email.
Oh.
You call me.
Okay.
I call back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really happy that you did, and you can come on. Do you watch Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob? Do you watch the YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's how I got your email and email on the computer, and then we talk, and you send me number.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. So you're part of the cadre. I'm glad. So anyway, so USA. Okay, so that's good. So what part of Mexico did you come from? Tijuana, right on the border. No? I thought Tijuana was on the border.
No, I'm not on border. I am on the far side of Tijuana.
Oh, okay.
No, border. That's dangerous. The dangerous area.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. There are so many beautiful, like Mexico City. That's a beautiful city. Beautiful city. Oh, a couple of times. I was there in the 80s when the earthquake was. And a friend of mine worked for ABC, and they were part of a Hispanic TV network in Mexico. And they needed an electrician. And my buddy said, "Do you want to go? They'll pay really good, and it'll be interesting." And we went there, and Mexico City was flattened. I mean, it looked like a war zone, like Syria. And then 10 years later, I went back, and they rebuilt everything. It's beautiful. It's like pretty amazing. It's a beautiful.
I'm not born before the earthquake. Then
right. Oh.
I must be a little hombre then.
A little younger, yeah. But it was quite interesting because, it was destroyed, and yet the Mexico people, they were cleaning it up. Whatever little shop they had, they were doing it. They were picking whatever they could out of their shops and selling them on the side of the road and making food for people. And if you didn't have money, they just let you eat. I mean, I don't know how many Americans would do that. So, I mean, there are a lot of good Americans. I'm not saying they're not. There are a lot of good Americans, and the majority of Americans are good. It's just they let themselves be siloed into a belief structure that makes no sense.
Well, how you say silo?
Silo, where you put corn and beans, and when you put anything in a silo, you put you don't mix the beans and the corn and the wheat in a silo. It's all beans or all soy this or and so when you're an individual and you're siloed, that means you don't let yourself have any diversity. You're just in that silo with everybody like you.
You mean like certain green, like eating the people?
Yeah, pretty much.
With the silo to separate
right
the movie.
Right.
The movie with the silent green pole.
Well, the silent green. That was
Verde.
Yes.
Verde.
Yeah, that was kind of a.
Silent Verde.
Yes, that was an interesting movie.
I watch old movies when I come to America
Well,
to
that's
learn
good.
culture.
Yeah. Well, it's so. Did you ever see the movie Zardos, or what happened? I'm sorry, my phone just went right out. I'm having issues with my battery. Yeah, I went from 100% down to 7%. So, sorry, my friend. Get a hold of me on the dude awake 42 at Gmail. Go to my xratted.blogspot.com. I like that guy. I liked him a lot. He was real. Martha Young, did you sell the house to John? Yes, I sold the house to John. Yep. And I had to. I had to sell everything. I sold everything except my little slice of the deep green, and even that I put that in my lawyer, who's my good buddy. So nothing. I have nothing. Right. To get any kind of healthcare in America, you have to have either zero or be a billionaire. So I was closer to zero. So, and there's a real freedom of having nothing. And I mean, I got more crap than, look at this. I got more crap than you actually need. And yet I have nothing. So, Martha Young, Morgan, let's see. Right. Yeah. And guys, I can barely read the chat. If you put it in caps, then I can really see it. And I don't know what putting things in caps mean. I know, it's like, oh, I can read it now instead of, oh, they're screaming at me. No. So, let's see. It's 47 minutes and 47 minutes. Oh, what is it? 48 minutes. Anyway, I want to get home before it rains. It's just misty, and it's the perfect. The roads won't get slick yet, and I might even be able to see. I'm on one side of a mountain range, and I'm going to go on the other side. And if I go on the other side, the sun might be there. The sun's coming out tomorrow. I don't think so. It was sunny when I left, and then I drove into the clouds. So anyway, it's good hearing from you all. And like I said, any sunny day and I'm in the deep green, I'm up for walking 4 miles. It's good for me. I mean, it can be painful. I have this thing called neuropathy. I got this stuff called Charcot legs, and I got a few other things going on that it can be problematic. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Caps, I can read that without even straining. Take care of yourself. And I always do, because I love you guys. And I'm going to end with a nice prayer here. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Take care of everyone watching this, and everyone who has a good heart, and everyone who's trying to do better and better in every day and every way. Father, Son, earth, Holy Spirit, bless us indeed. Enlarge our territories. Put your hands upon our shoulders so we will do no evil, so we will do no harm. Aho. And I love you guys, and you are the best of the best of the best. You really are. So at 50-50, I'm going to go on out of here, and I'll talk to you guys later. It's supposed to rain real hard tomorrow and New Year's Day, and maybe Saturday I might get around to saying hi to you guys. But sometime, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, whatever day it's not raining and it's sunny and I can drive or walk. So that's the tune. And I love you guys, and you're the best, and you make me happy. And that's why I do this. And I would suggest everyone to go watch all the old shows. Pick your 10 best. You don't have to watch them all the way through, but find ones you like and put them on thumb drive, CD-ROMs, and your hard drive. Because I have a sense that the internet is going away this year. A lot of things are going away this year. and in a very, just like 19 was brought to us sideways, just like 9/11 was brought to us sideways. We had all these wars just brought to us sideways, you know. So you stay well, be good. There we go.